what we had, Cheryl. So all in all, good number. Dividend announced of 140 rupees per share as well. That's by Nestle, but I believe we will be connecting with some of the analysts as well, Cheryl. So that is something that, we'll get more details in terms of how is it looking like to the street as well as analysts. But as of now, Nestle is holding on to gains of 1.4% as well. Okay, we do have Priyam Tolia joining in with us from Axis as well. And Priyam, very good morning. How is Nestle looking to you on the first cut? And what is the volume growth, the number that you are looking at as of now?
Yeah, thanks. So the overall numbers seems pretty strong, so which is in line with our estimates. What we anticipated was a volume growth of 4 to 5%, mostly in a kind of single-digit volume growth. So we expect that the volume growth would be more or less in line with that number, as the top-line growth has been in line. Slightly lower than our estimate, but overall good set of numbers, especially on the margins front. So what has worked, if you see why Nestle is delivering such a strong numbers compared to other peers, is that it is working. What is at work is new product development. So the new launches which companies has done in the last few years is working for them. Also, their expansion into smaller towns, right? So most of the FMCG companies are highlighting that the rural is seeing a pain, right? But this Nestle is expanding into smaller towns. So the growth is also led by this kind of activities for the company.
Okay, right. Also, Priyam, if you could give us an indication in terms of the milk and nutrition segment as well. As of now, what the company is highlighting that they are seeing a decent growth over there as well. But, the milk prices were on the higher end. So how are you inferring this number? Is that we could see an impact coming in on Q3 for Nestle for the next quarter, I beg your pardon, Q4 for Nestle then?
Yeah, so we'll have to see what management speak on that on the raw material price front. But however, if you see milk and the milk product portfolio, the second half is more important, right? Because it is driven by the festive season. So we expect that the company is likely to deliver again on the milk and milk portfolio on a strong front second half. So we don't expect much impact over there. But let's see what management says on the conference on the analyst meet, which is they are conducting in the next week.
Priyam, lastly, we have two more companies to go in the FMCG pack, HUL as well as ITC. What are you expecting in terms of that? Nestle is a thumbs up from you. Should we expect good numbers from HUL and ITC?
So we expect a moderate performance for both the companies due to especially the slowdown in the overall demand, particularly for the HUL. However, for the ITC, we expect the cigarettes are likely to outperform the other business segments. Also, the hotel business are likely to go both strong and FMCG. Only for the ITC will be the impact will be from the agri business and the paperboard business. The rest we expect a decent set of performance for the ITC.
All right then, Priyam, thank you so much for joining us on ET Now to give your take on the Nestle numbers and how they were, and also talking about HUL as well as ITC, because those two numbers are yet to come out. But thank you so much for joining us on ET Now. And Vinny, yes, like you said, the analysts had inferred volume growth about 3 to 4%. We estimated 5%, and you can see the reaction on the stock price. Actually, I'll request Abhishek to show the line graph of Nestle right now. It's given up all of its gain. In fact, it is nudging towards the negative territory. There you go. The stock has actually slipped into the negative territory. It is the volume growth that has not surprised us.
Yeah, maybe because we were expecting that. Some bit of a subduedness on that front, and given up from 1% gains is absolutely in the negative territory in 5 minutes is something to watch out for as well.
Absolutely.
So, Winnie, before you go, any volume growth guidance or estimates for HUL and ITC?
So, yes, for HUL, we're expecting similar to last quarter, 3 to 4% is volume growth that HUL normally reports. We're expecting on those lines. While for ITC, it's expected at around 6% volume growth. Cigarette volume growth is what we talk about. So, that's the number that we're expecting for volume growth for those two companies as well.
So believe that those are the key numbers to watch out for from the FMCG space. But with this year, we will thank you, Winnie, for joining us today and discussing about the Nestle earnings as well as the other FMCG earnings candidate in focus today. And with this, we are slipping into a very short break in this edition of Buy Now. Now don't go anywhere. We'll be right back, and then it's the time to take all your stock-related queries. So stay tuned.